No one is doing anything. There was no typing, no mouse clicking, nothing. We saw one guy looking at the Google homepage, but he wasn't searching for anything. He was just staring blankly at the screen. The one person we saw there who actually looked like he knew how to use a computer was, of course, the one person they wanted us to meet.
Fuck you, Mojang! Laziest motherfucker working at that goddamn company. You're telling me you can make one new mob per year? One.
This is a day in the life of a Mojang employee. So the first thing I did was wake up and I made sure to get some nice breakfast. I got a nice Pop-Tart here. So after all this hard work was completed, I wrote 2 whole lines of code, which actually was really difficult. And yeah, that's it.
There's been a feeling of some, let's just say very loud parts of the Minecraft community recently, that the Mojang devs are lazy. They just spend all day sitting on the 7 couches in their office, write their 4 lines of code for the day, and then go home. I mean, look at the fire hose of mods, texture packs, and maps coming out from Minecraft on a daily basis. Most of those were made by extremely small teams of people. Why can't Mojang do that? Mojang has a big responsibility in the Minecraft community. They are the ones that single-handedly have the power to change the base code of the best-selling video game ever made. The base features are hard-coded into the game, so any feature they add is going to have an effect on every single community in all of Minecraft. And when a community doesn't like the update enough, they can just not do it. Mojang's goal is to appeal to as many people as possible with every single update. From children who play Bedrock on their mom's phone to 25-year-olds who play Java on their computer, Mojang wants to make sure that everything they add is intuitive and fun for everyone that plays the game. Well, I mean almost everything. They have to come up with original ideas, art directions, sounds, and fun gameplay before they can even think about implementing anything into the game. They have to convince both higher-ups and coworkers that this feature is actually worth adding to the game. After they actually do add it in, they have to fix all the tiny little bugs that come along with it. And there's a lot of them. They have to take game balance and lag into consideration. Not only that, but then they have to go tell the Bedrock team to add that exact same feature in a completely different coding language. So now this feature needs to correctly correlate the console and computer communities, which can consistently cause a catastrophic collapse. Some features like bundles can make it all the way to this stage before they get canned at the finish line.
Bundles will not be added with the release of 1.19. There is still some issues to figure out and we're working on it. For example, if you want to hover the bundle on touch devices to see what's in it, you can't really do that.
So the bundles, which are fully implemented in Java, are now doomed to rot in the experimental section for as long as it takes for a solution to come up, just because of Pocket Edition. I think that, an actual Mojang dev said it best.
Here at Mojang, when we worked on a feature, we have a really high quality bar that we wanted to reach. That means that we wanted to make sure that the feature is well tested, it works in all different platforms, and also it has to fit into the existing feature that's already in the game, as well as the new features that we're going to introduce in the future. So for that reason, we wanted to make sure that we have enough time to do it right, so we take our times. So we hope that when we release it, you guys are going to be happy to get what you get.
Mojang is slow because they have a lot of people they have to make happy, and doing that takes a lot of time. Every year, the devs take some time out of their busy schedule to pitch a few mob concepts to the community in a massive vote. I really like the mob vote, but some people don't see it in the same fun way that I do. Think about it, the Minecraft team was never going to add all 3 mobs, even if the mob vote didn't happen. The only thing that would change would be instead of you getting to choose which mob enters the game, a faceless committee inside of Mojang would get to choose. And yeah, it's said that the piss cow will never be added to the game, but that's just how development goes. You have to make tough decisions sometimes. I always see a bunch of videos right before the mob vote that add all the mobs to the game early. This on its own is fine, and this video is definitely not hate towards any of those YouTubers that make these things. The problem, as per usual, is with gamers. Specifically gamers who use these videos as some sort of proof that Mojang is lazy. That if some guy on YouTube could make these mobs in less than a week, what's stopping Mojang from making more content? This is dumb and stupid, because obviously Mojang is a bit different than some random guy on YouTube making mods for fun. What's different is that Kelpinjaw Viewer 74 doesn't have to confer with anyone. They don't need experience in game balance or texture design, because the features and textures are already laid out for them. There's no corporate ladder, because they're self-employed and there's nothing to confer. They only have to be made into a mod or data pack that only has to work for a single video. Significant bugs or crashes can just be cut out of the video entirely. It can be super laggy or broken in game balance, and it doesn't really matter. They're going for speed rather than polish. No, polish. Close enough. They don't have to make this for multiple platforms or make anything intuitive or fun or engaging or consistent with the game direction. The longer you take, the more likely it is that someone's going to beat you to the punch. I'm not saying that these people aren't talented, because they are. They're infinitely better at coding than I am. What I'm saying is that coming up with a brand new idea is completely different from implementing that idea. That's why it only takes a couple days. It's kind of like if someone took a typing test and said, "Why does it take you so long to write these scripts? I can type at 69 words per minute, and this script's only 2,346 words long. Look, I can type this script in 34 minutes. Why are you so lazy?" There's a YouTuber called Whimsy sorry Whimsy, you're just getting the blunt of this for this video. There's a YouTuber called Whimsy who does a series where he codes a Minecraft update in 7 days. Which actually means that he creates a data pack with a custom structure and some custom mobs all based around a central theme. I can only assume that he just locks himself in a room for 7 days and just works on this data pack. That sounds insanely intensive, which is why he can only do this every couple months. Whimsy is a software engineer. He knows how hard coding is, which is why he never says that the Mojang devs are lazy.
So, I don't work for Mojang, but I am a Java developer. I do it for a living, and I think I can speculate a little bit about what's happening at Mojang right now. At one point, I was on a project and it just wasn't going well. We were way past our deadline and our customers were getting mad at us. It's a really scary place to be, so I have the utmost sympathy for where Mojang is right now.
After all, he primarily uses features that Mojang has put in the game for the specific purpose of letting players create custom data packs. He's really good at making data packs, and the updates look pretty cool. However, the comments section in all the videos are the opposite of cool. The intellectuals seem to think that Whimsy holds some kind of secret to game development that nobody at Mojang can even fathom, and that if he was hired for the Minecraft team, the updates would go so much faster. Guys? Whimsy has not added any content to the game, okay? He makes data packs. It means that there are no new items, because that's not possible. The mobs are invisible armor stands with retextured items as the pieces. The animations are a plugin that ports the movements from Blockbench into a data pack. Blockbench is a program that Mojang itself uses and supports the development of, whatever that means. The structures are made with the structure block and the jigsaw block, 2 blocks that Mojang added into the game specifically for this purpose. And I know this because Whimsy talks about all this stuff in his videos.
The first block is the structure block. It lets us save and load structures. What's a bit more confusing is the jigsaw block, which procedurally glues together all the little structures to make a bigger, more complicated structure. Trust me, it'll make sense when you see it. Here, I made 3 rooms. Save them, and now if I did everything right... My god, am I smart. I'm using a Blockbench plugin that bakes animations into a data pack that controls a bunch of invisible armor stands. Each armor stand has white dye in the head slot, which is retextured using a resource pack. The husk is going to be the boss's hitbox since it's the perfect size and doesn't burn in sunlight. Finally, I'll use the cat's AI for its movement, since I want the boss to constantly run away and use a flurry of ranged magic attacks. With some coding magic, I glued everything together and even got the movement animations working.
He is definitely not trying to hide the fact that he works on data packs, as it's mentioned everywhere he has the chance. I'm not saying that these don't take a ton of effort to make. What I am saying is that, once again, remixing something is completely different than making something new. What's cool is that you can download these data packs for yourself and put them into your own worlds. Well, you can download the earliest 3, the 4th one was so expensive that it's a Patreon exclusive. Speaking of that, you can see that the first video is specifically about how he himself made this update, but as the videos go on, you can see that more and more people join him. Almost like he's creating a team of people that all specialize in different things, whether it be music or texture art or building, that all help him make the data pack in 7 days. Almost like a development team, kind of. Much like these data packs, wholly original mods do take a ton of effort from large groups of people to make, because you have to both come up with the new idea and implement it from scratch. Mojang is so slow compared to the Java modding community because these 2 entities have completely different objectives. Mojang is a for-profit corporation that is focused on selling more copies of Minecraft. Mojang wants to play it safe and not change the game too much from update to update. They want to change it enough to entice more people to buy Minecraft, but not too much to drive away its established player base. The modding community has the exact opposite goal. They mostly operate in very small teams, fueled by passion and white monster more than any profit motive. Modders can be way more experimental in their features because the whole company isn't resting on their backs. The success of their new mod, Bigger, Extremer Reactors Reforged, Recrafted, Reheated Chernobyl Edition, is not going to affect their income in a very meaningful way, so they could be more adventurous with the mod. Whereas if Minecraft adds something that the player base really doesn't like, some of them will just decide to never update. After all, the biggest Minecraft server by far, Hypical, is still an update of Minecraft that's about to hit double digits next year. Mojang devs are the one group of people standing between the best-selling video game of all time and one of the largest gaming companies of all time. That's a lot of pressure for anyone to handle, so Mojang has to find a way to still get good updates despite that. One thing that gamers usually forget is that real, actual, living, breathing, shitting, crusting humans make the games that they play. And those humans need to be happy to produce their best work. I hear a lot that Mojang is not only slow compared to Minecraft modders, but also compared to other gaming companies in general. Since Minecraft's release, 13 Call of Duty games have come out, and during that whole entire time, only 21 Minecraft updates have come out. Mojang is working on the same game the whole time, while COD makes a new game every single time. Well, almost every single time. Or look at Fortnite, who's had 23 seasons and 4 different maps since 2017, plus an entire other game in development at the same time. What's going on? Well, I think that a straightforward solution is to go to Google and just look up any gaming company, and then workplace abuse, and look at the results. Oh wow, Fortnite employees frequently work 100-hour work weeks. I'm no Actually, I am a mathematician. If I recall, there are only 168 hours in a week. You work for 100 hours, sleep for at least 49 hours, and probably travel for an hour a day, so that leaves them a whole 100 minutes per day to relax. What a life! This poor guy compared Mojang to Bethesda. Oh, that's weird, because exactly 2 weeks before this post, an article came out on Kotaku about how anonymous QA testers worked 60-hour work weeks, and were paid in overtime pay and, quote, the opportunity to eat free pizza. I like it. It's not even free pizza. It's the opportunity to eat free pizza. Like they didn't like they were being compensated in the opportunity. Like just the fact that they could go over and get pizza, that was how they were being paid. How do the employees feel about that? Well, they said that no amount of financial incentive could erase the physical and mental exhaustion that they experience from the continual onslaught of non-stop obligatory overtime. What? This is just too good to not include. They've wanted to stop working so bad that when one of the QA testers almost broke their fucking bones on the stairs, the first thing they thought was, oh, I'm so glad I might have to not go into work tomorrow. Oh my god. They said that it was the most comforting feeling they felt while working on Fallout 76. That is insanity. What the fuck? That was the best part of working on 76, because they didn't have to do it anymore. Jesus Christ. I sure do wonder how they can do so much more work with less employees. It's a mystery. I'm not sure. Or Minglecroft received 721 employee complaints of discrimination and harassment in the US between 2019 and 2021. That's almost one complaint every single day for 2 entire years. Apparently, employees were scared to talk out about it because they feared that their income or job security would be affected. That's great. That's awesome. That's just great. Activision Blizzard, oh god, pays $35 million to resolve claims, such a stupid phrase, made by the SEC that allegedly, big fat mega allegedly, Activision Blizzard completely failed to collect and review employee complaints about workplace misconduct. Virtually any gaming company you can think of has a long list of claims about workplace abuse. What about Mojang workplace abuse? I honestly, truly don't see anything. Instead of seeing news articles about lawsuits like usual, you actually see articles about people just talking about how good it is. There's a Forbes article about how Mojang splitting the Caves and Cliffs into 2 parts was good for mental health and overall good for the business. And also about how happier employees are better for businesses in general. There's also an interview with Daniel Kaplan from back in 2011 as the production director at Mojang, where he severely criticizes crunch culture. He would work at Mojang for the next 6 years until leaving to go work with the Goat Simulator developers at Coffee Stain. It probably seemed like a pretty weird decision until Satisfactory, a game that very much resembles Minecraft tech mod packs, was announced at E3 in 2018. Coffee Stain is another one of the few companies that has a distinct lack of results when looking for workplace abuse. That's kind of weird. I wonder why that is. I mean, the main thing that shows up when you look up Mojang Crunch is fucking cereal, for crying out loud. There are not nearly as many articles about Mojang's workplace in general, which is kind of sad. But it does kind of make sense, because this company is not abusing its workforce is not really a good headline. This is why Mojang is slower than the others. They treat their workers like actual human beings, not slaves to suck the creativity out of. Let me be clear. Mojang, at the end of the day, is a profit-centric company controlled by a gigantic multimedia conglomerate. I don't like Microsoft. but I do think that for the most part, they've kept Mojang pretty self-governing. It could be so much worse. Mojang itself definitely doesn't need defending from niche internet micro-celebrity with so few subscribers that it still shows each new one individually as they subscribe. You should try it out. I don't think that we should be telling one of the few companies that acts in a more moral way that they should be more like JJJReact. And especially accusing the individual devs of Minecraft, or any game in general for that matter, for being lazy is insanity. Seriously, nobody strives to make a bad game. Usually there's a much more complicated explanation than the furry that makes my game is lazy. Oh god. Oh, my neck. Oh fuck. Oh. Holy fuck. Is that you, Santa Claus? Ow, my neck. Oh, my neck. I need to figure this out for future videos. I need to figure out how to do this bullshit. Oh. Oh my god, my neck. Oh. Fuck.